songs like Neon Moon and Boot Scoot and
Oh, yeah.
next album, Hard Working Man, and Used to Be Mine. Ronnie just had written all these great songs by itself, which, now I can't even tell you.
The sad news about Ronnie's diagnosis has caused Brooks and Dunn's to close. Fans are getting more worried after something bad happened at their show in Indianapolis. As of late, Dunn has dealt with serious health problems. Even with these problems, Brooks and Dunn keeps going to keep being important in country music. And this part will give you chills. Saying goodbye hurts, but there's something deeply beautiful about how they've chosen to do it. To leave. Being honest. With style. Follow me until the end. What does Ronnie say in his last message to fans? It's going to stop you. Come with me. What happened at the show in Indianapolis? It's April 3, 2025, and the Gainbridge Fieldhouse is full. Everything in Indianapolis is totally buzzing. A lot of excited and nostalgic fans crowded into the venue. Get ready for a night of honky-tonk hits, cowboy boots, and the magic of Brooks and Dunn. You know the type. Their music makes you think of good times, doesn't it? The electricity, the lights, it was all there, the roar of the crowd. However, as the night went on, something began to turn off. The show slowly changed from a high-energy, toe-tapping one to something a bit more. It's scary. And believe me, no one saw it coming. Let's talk about the event that everyone has been since then on TikTok and social media. Everything took place during their performance. The part of it's the show that should feel like the big end, right? They began Boot Scootin' Boogie, which, let's face it, is pretty much the line-dancing national song. The crowd was pumped up, phones in hand, people are singing along and getting into that standard country groove. After that, this is the real Ronnie Dunn. In the middle of the song, all of a sudden, he pulls back he puts down the mic and tells the crowd, sing it if you know it. At first, people thought he was just letting the fans can have fun. You know how artists do that sometimes. Then he takes a step back and puts out his hand. He makes a hand motion toward Kix as if to say, that's it for me, and then he taps him on the chest a few times. His face, ugh, it said a lot without saying a word. He slowly shook his head, almost as if he was upset with himself, so he waved goodbye, and left the stage. Not an exciting end, not a fuss. They said goodbye, in a quiet, sad way in the middle of their biggest hit. What if we told you that one of the most famous country music duos is quietly moving on the stage for good? Everything that Ronnie did was because of something very sad. Dunn just told us. Is this really the end of Brooks and Dunn? Or is there something else going on? Then anyone knows? Hold on tight, because the end could break your heart. And now, if you paid close attention all night, which some fans did, you may have seen the signs. It wasn't just that one time. Before in the set, Ronnie wasn't as active as he usually is. He did something during Rock My World, Little Country Girl, sat down on the steps of the stage. He would never do something like that. That is, this is the same person who even when he was in his 60s, he used to run the stage like a pro. But that night, he looked worn out. Like, totally and utterly worn out. Fans on social media said he looked winded, and some even saw it. His voice was breaking, mostly in the high notes. You already know how strong his voice is, yes? You know something is wrong when that voice doesn't sound right. One fan even wrote, he was in pain. It was clear, it looked like he was having trouble breathing. It broke your heart to read the comments. In true country style, the show did keep going. Kix Brooks, thank God, didn't miss a beat. That man really knows how to do his job. As Ronnie, while the crowd quietly left, Kix kept playing, keeping the music going and getting people to clap. Just think about it, why the stress? He didn't move, though. He picked up the pieces and saw the show through to the end. There you have it, decades of working together. As expected, the event caused a firestorm of just a guess. There were a lot of rumors going around. A lot of important questions were asked. Is Ronnie Dunn not well? Is this the end of Brooks and Dunn? What's going on? And to be honest, why should you blame them? When a talent as good as Ronnie leaves the stage in that way, fans are worried. It's not just the music. It's about the person who did it. The guy who played music on your road trips, during breakups, and at backyard barbecues? That kind of emotional link goes deep. So when USA Today finally got a response, from fans were dying to know what was going on with their team. Ronnie wasn't feeling, the source said. I was sick, but the show on Saturday night went off without a hitch. That made everyone feel better. A little. But let's be honest. Everyone who saw it live or watched the video online, he knew it wasn't just a cold or sniffle. That kind of worn out? That kind comes from something else. It's great to hear that he made it through the next show, but it still made a lot of people sad. In their hearts, people are beginning to wonder, are we seeing the last few games of Brooks and Dunn's famous run? As soon as you start cheering along to My Maria, you switch to one of your musicals. Heroes leave a song quietly, as if they don't have anything else to say. Different people are hit by that kind of weakness. When it comes from someone like Ronnie Dunn, who has always had this tough, stern stage appearance. And seeing how human he looked at that moment, it was like seeing your favorite uncle wave goodbye, tap his chest, and shake his head. I'm sorry, but he can't make it to the dance floor this time. You honor it, but you really feel it. Things are getting even more talked about when it comes to their health, especially Ronnie's. People don't just want to know, when is the next show? They want to know, should there be another show? Fans love them more than the song, that's why. No, everyone wants to see a hero go too far and not be able to go back. What have we all seen? When artists don't pay attention to the signs. This could be the start of something new. It might be time for them to rest, bow, and know that their memory is set in stone. But of course, this very human, very real moment, no matter what comes next, people will remember. Not because Ronnie left, but because he proved that even myths can be true. Leave some room. That's fine. Because the best act isn't always the one where even when someone says, I need to stop, the music keeps going because of the love of a bandmate and the roar of people who get it. Yes, the night began with boot scootin', and I felt sad when it was over. It ended with love, respect, and a little more, though, than anyone thought possible. Isn't that what country music is all about, anyway? Ronnie Dunn's recent health problems are what's really going on behind all the flash and lights. Ronnie has had a lot of health problems that he has been facing alone for months. And honestly, a lot of it. A lot. Do you ever feel like life just won't stop? That's been Ronnie's life lately, and he's 71 years old, so it's not like he doesn't deserve it. It's also easy to get back on your feet. So, here's the story. In early March 2025, Ronnie took a second blow that hit him really hard. Not just COVID, but also strep throat. At the same time. Really, can you picture that mess? COVID and strep throat at the same time? It's not just it was really bad. A sick day and some soup. It was so bad that the man had to rest his voice for almost 2 weeks. Now, for someone like Ronnie, whose whole life is singing and putting on a show, must have been awful. Antibiotics and drugs were given to him by his doctors to try to fight the infection and the swelling, but the virus still hurt his lungs in a certain way. Those things didn't go away overnight. He was still having trouble breathing well into late March. And he was so honest about it in an interview with Country Music Weekly. "I'm still having trouble breathing because of COVID." You could hear the anger behind that. He said those things as if he wanted to be his old self again, but his body wasn't ready yet. Even though that was already a lot for him, let me take you back a little ways. A few months before all of that, during that breathing problem, Ronnie had major knee replacement surgery in December 2024. What do you think happened? He was skiing at his Colorado holiday home, which, yes, it sounds a lot like something Ronnie Dunn would do, and then he hit his edge on some ice and ripped his ACL right off. Really, can this man get a break? Because of that accident, he had surgery and had to recuperate for 8 weeks afterward. He was barely able to move. First, let alone put on a full-on country show. Ronnie is old-fashioned, though. This is how a standard cowboy is: stubborn. He insisted on going on the Reboot 2 tour, even though he was still going to physical treatment, though. Like, playing on stage while getting better from a brand new knee. Some fans even saw that he was using stage steps to favor his right leg. He was there to help and do whatever he could to keep the show going. That's some serious commitment, right? But now things get even more difficult. All those bad health events? They've certainly changed the way he spoke. You know how Ronnie's voice is just that, rich, strong and completely clear. Music critics and voice teachers alike have recently caught on to how much has changed. The way he breathes now is different, and he can't hold those breaths for as long. He used to play strong notes like that. That must be very hard for someone who built a whole history based on how strong that voice was. What does he have to do? He's changing how songs are put together, changing things around to help you sing them better. Behind the scenes, the sound experts have been he is also helping out by making changes to the live mixes so that he doesn't have to sing as hard. And yes, you may have seen it if you recently went to a show or watched a clip online. For example, during the famous songs Neon Moon and My Maria, which used to just flow out of him so easily, there's now pressure. He's clearly putting in more effort to get through the chorales. Really, who could blame him? He has had COVID, strep throat, and knee surgery. All of them in a few months. Even someone half his age would lose their wind after hearing that. Fans aren't stupid, and rumors spread quickly, so now people are starting to wonder, is Ronnie Dunn not well? Really sick? What does this mean for the future of Brooks and Dunn? Insiders in the business world are already asking, if these back-to-back having health problems could mean that Ronnie wants to slow down or even step back. Go away completely. Also, it's a good question, right? I mean, how long can you drive? Are you going to treat yourself that way before something gives? But here's what bothers me, all of Ronnie hasn't made a big deal out of this. He hasn't faked sadness or tried to get people to feel sorry for him. His only job has been to quietly show up, do his best, and keep trying to give people music. They love each other. Couldn't you say that's kind of pretty? Like, even when his body is begging him not to. He still wants to be there for the people who have helped him for decades, even though he needs a break. Ronnie Dunn had always seemed like the tough and quiet one, so when the terrible news came out about his illness, fans were shocked to the core. Could this be why Brooks and Dunn are breaking up? The stage, for good? What do fans do now that everyone is talking about it? If you think you know everything, wait until you hear what's really going on. The scenes. Watch this whole thing through to find out how deep it goes. What fans thought and how worried people were within hours of Ronnie Dunn's shocking death as he left the stage in Indianapolis. It seemed like the whole country music world stopped. Everyone looked at him. The moment shocked me. 1 minute he was singing, 1 minute he was gently telling his band that something wasn't right. And that was it. He was no longer there. It was one of those times when things don't just sit still, they spread like flames. This is especially true now that everything is online in seconds. And to be honest, fans have every right to be worried, after all. It's really Ronnie Dunn. He's more than just a country voice. A lot of people listen to his songs on road trips, during breakups, at weddings, and on Saturday nights. As you might have guessed, things went crazy on social media, but not in the way you'd think. Not a story. Not a lot of talk spreads, okay, maybe a little. The flood of love was what stood out. Fans from all over the country, some who had seen the show and some who had only heard about it, rushed to the comment sections as if they were an old friend being checked on. Brooks and Dunn's the brand's official Instagram page changed into something that looked more like a prayer group than a page for advertising. After post, people left nice, caring notes. Like it wasn't, "We hope Ronnie gets better soon," or "Sending love and healing thoughts your way." They weren't just one-offs, they were everywhere. What do you know? Every word made you feel like it was true. Then there were the longer, more emotional ones that make you stop browsing, and I thought, wow, so many people care about this guy. Someone wrote, "Praying for you, Ronnie." Someone else said, "Feel better, Ronnie," and added, "Hope you get better soon." With about 10 exclamation points, there are a lot of emojis and question marks. It was clear this wasn't just about a show that wasn't going to happen. Or a lost repeat. This was about a real bond between people. Ronnie Dunn is known by many. At the very least, that's how it feels. They heard his songs when they were kids. He's been there through the good times and the bad. The broken hearts and the healing. So this kind of thing hits in a different way. In this part, things get even more emotional because people who were at the show began to share their own stories. Few people talked about how great the show was. They knew Ronnie wasn't right, though. Someone wrote, "You guys were awesome last night in Indianapolis. It was a dream come true to see you all for the first time. Near the end, it looked like you were sick, though. I hope you feel better soon." That's love, yes? That's Thanksgiving wrapped in care. There were more than a few fans who said this, there were dozens of people who said the same thing. How much people appreciate Brooks and Dunn's professionalism, even when they seem to be having a hard time. Honestly, it warmed my heart. It was clear how much.